Welcome back to the ESL Pro League. We have got ourselves a good game ahead of us. Hellraisers and PENTA clashing. Of course, we know the storyline here, but if you are unfamiliar, myself, Sadakist, and Yanko will be guiding you through it. The breakdown is PENTA are at the bottom of the barrel alongside Flipside. However, PENTA have got a couple of wins under their belt, despite Flipside just finding their first last week. And alongside them, Hellraisers, they're not too far from the bottom as well. In fact, we can bring the standings up just to show you and demonstrate exactly the situation as it does really occur for PENTA. It's a battle of staying up out of that real relegation zone. It's just that number one. I don't know if we can. There it is.
Lovely stuff.
So 4 for 14. They're running out of games to play here, boys.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, when you've got that many losses, it's one thing to be 4-8 where Hellraisers are. That's like recoverable, but this is a big game for the relegation thing that you guys were talking about a little bit earlier. Like this is a fight for survival. So I think, I mean, that's the weird thing with Hellraisers. They had a crazy chance fluke comeback against Virtus Pro, which was a big win to take. But other than that, they really had nothing going for them this season. Yeah,
that was a big scalp to take, and that was VP's bad. But yeah, so 4 to 8. Should PENTA pick up these wins here, they're going to start looking relatively safe-ish from that bottom zone. But I mean, it does come down to these next two maps, really.
I think these are the most important ones for them, in a sense that they know that they have obviously a much higher chance to take a map here than they do against some of the other opposition.
Well, I mean, if you look at Hellraisers, where do you identify, you know, strengths? Like at this point in time, we know, just look at these names now. You've got Dead Fox filling in now. They've got a new fifth coming in. You've got Zero, Sticko, Bondic, and Angel. And alongside that, I mean, PENTA, we have Stefan, Crystal, Lal, Tarsin, and Mike S. And when we'll start with the Hellraisers thread, just because sometimes people struggle to find the strengths. I can't help but feel Bondic is the biggest name there. We should be seeing big stuff from him.
Yeah, but he's also an internal issue sometimes as well with his attitude. He's known to be one of the kind of guys that tilts, internalizes. Actually, I wouldn't even say internalizes. Pretty vocal about it, so you kind of know in comms and whatnot. So that can detract. I'm actually more interested. I do agree with what you're saying. He's the bigger name there, but I'm more interested to see how Dead Fox continues to play because he's shown some flashes. I think it's kind of weird. Hellraisers always has like a decent AWP player somewhere or another. Like they just keep going through them.
Well, Mr. Roscoe, and now we have Mr. Dead Fox to see if he can show up in some way, shape, or form. We saw PENTA just last week, or rather yesterday. Well, God, wait, time flies. When was it? When did we last see PENTA?
Yesterday was the day off,
Alex. One day off.
You were busy, but the day before that we had some games.
Yes, we did. Okay, so just the last Pro League day, we got to see Stefan. I think he went 0 and 14. Yeah, 0, 2 assists, 14. He's the newest addition to PENTA, and so he has not been having a great start to the Pro League. But gents, expectations, Yanko. When you see PENTA Hellraisers, is this one of those ones where you just sit there and go, I haven't got a clue, or is there some leniency one way or the other?
Well, it is a bit tricky. I mean, lately we've seen more from PENTA than from Hellraisers. But then again, Hellraisers, after the roster change, after bringing Dead Fox, they managed to beat Dignitas after overtime and lose also after overtime. So they had pretty close games. Took a map off of VP. Listen, no matter how VP is playing badly at the moment, you still need to win 12 consecutive rounds against them. So that's no small feat. So I think that Hellraisers has been looking better. Maybe it's a case of a honeymoon phase for them as well. So I don't have a clear favorite here.
Well, I mean, the points you make are great. I mean, the Hellraisers have got a fair few big scalps on their belt from just the last week. You said already, Dignitas, Virtus Pro. If you look towards PENTA's belt, the only win I can see recently, especially in the Pro League, was Flipside and that 16-14 throw.
Congratulations.
And it was a throw as well. I mean, Flipside, what was it? They had the strongest half. I think they ended 14, like 4 or 5, and then they came back again.
Yeah, but PENTA also had an extremely close game against Navi on Cobble, which they basically threw by losing that anti-eco. So the way I look at this matchup is I give PENTA the edge on Cash, and I give Hellraisers the edge on Cobble.
Okay, running with that train of thought, I do want to just quickly address, now, how much of Mike S have we seen, genuinely?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Well, the weird thing is he's been on the roster for a certain period of time now, but we just don't see PENTA enough, period. Like, when was the first time Henry G and I would have seen him? I think it was the PGL Minor the first time around when they had Mike S on the roster the first time. And Henry obviously had some familiarity with him in that sense. We casted them through that. Even then they weren't convincing. And then it's been, with the amount of CS this year, the amount of Tier 2 stuff, it's been like a lack of appearances from PENTA. And you gotta remember, like, after the German shuffle, like most teams benefit both ways in a lot of shuffles like that. They just fell off the deep end. And I still can't tell you enough about Mike S.
No, I mean these are.
I'm struggling to even fake it right now, Alex. And normally I'm very good at faking it.
No, and I appreciate that. It's just this is the point I'm trying to prove is that PENTA, despite getting these close results, despite pushing some of these T1 positions, admittedly, majority online, they are turning heads, and they're names that are unfamiliar to a great deal of people. I mean, the only reason I identify most of these players, well, Lowell, I saw him in the course of Barcelona Expo with G-Bots.
You can go further back than that. The first time I would have seen him was June 2014 when he was playing with Wizards, which then became Over Gaming, which had Kyrie. And Lowell, I call him Lowell. He was actually, in my opinion, their best player at the time. So he is a player that I can get behind. And he's actually up there with Mixwell, I think, in terms of Spanish skill. But Mixwell's a little bit younger. He was on the G-Bots lineup, which had a little bit more of a chance. Yeah. His showing at Barcelona was a little better because of that, so then he got picked up. But I think Lowell's actually a wicked player. I've always rated him quite well, considering in the tier 2 kind of echelon.
But I do think, I mean, everyone on the desk seems to point to Lowell as being the star of this team. I mean, you, Yanko, particularly suggesting he's going to get poached, or was that Chad? Just like he's not going to listen to this roster forever.
When you ask where does PENTA, where's their future and everything, the problem is always do their best players get poached at some point, right? Does Lowell go to another team, a North American team or something like that after having a good showing in this season? Because the problem with PENTA is you don't really see a reason why would he turn down a better offer for that team. It's not like Heroic, for example, that's now a player-owned org and everyone has a stake in the team, and you see that the atmosphere in that team is actually looking pretty good. They've attended some LANs together as well, had a couple of good upset results, so to speak, right?
Do you like that idea of a player-owned org? Because I'm starting to grow.
It's not really player-owned. Come on, we all know there's investment now. That's all been thrown out there. They have shares in it. That's what I'll give that.
Okay, the way I'm trying to suggest it is that there's more of an attachment to the brand than there would be if you were just a player with a contract. That's all.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I like that idea, just the fact that you and your comrades, assuming there's good chemistry, there's an additional layer where you're kind of sitting there and I'm working with these. This is a project. It feels more like work because, the more you succeed, the more your brand succeeds. I kind of like that idea.
I think it's okay if it doesn't get to a point where it takes a toll on your playing, that you can't play as much or something because of the business side of things. I also don't think that it really should be all 5 players having a stake. I don't even think that it's always a case of all 5 players wanting it. It's just maybe 2 or 3, and then you bring the others into the idea as well, because why not? But eventually there is going to be changes, like you see with Astralis swapping out Cajun. So yes, there are rules in place how you're going to deal with it contractually, but I think Godsend was actually, initially it was just Pronax who had a stake in that team when he had Pau, Schneider and all of those other guys. Sure. So for me, that's something that's probably more viable.
Well, so like one player decides I'm going to make an org and then starts bringing people in.
Yeah, players, but then you give maybe the others just revenue share in a sense, right, of the sponsor deal. Sure. So every player gets, I don't know, 2 or 3% that's in the team.
That's the one thing that I think that's where it benefits, is because we know there's been issues with face rights. We know there's been issues with sponsorship endorsement not trickling down correctly based on inflation or revenue increase from a team. And I agree with what Yanko says. If it's taking away from their playing, then it's a bad thing. It shouldn't be something that they have to worry about. I think if contracts were done right, it should just be the way it was. You have an organization that's honorable, but I can see what the players want to get out of it. And the trade-off is, even if you don't have as much sponsorship because you don't have someone else doing it, let's say you just want to go with your own peripherals, whatever, having a stake in the team, you probably get more prize money distribution because that's also going back into you in a way.
I mean, I wasn't trying to go down the financial side of things too much.
Well, that's all that matters in life, Alex. Money is everything.
The point I was trying to make was just that it could, in terms of a morale boost, just the fact that you are, you're working on this thing together. I acknowledge that there is lots of other sides to it, but I mean, just in terms of, it does seem like it hasn't necessarily worked for Astralis in their results recently.
I think, if anything, it brings you more pressure than it does hard work, because you know that now you're fully invested in that, and you're going to have the ability to draw sponsors and everything, further your brand by having good results. No one wants to, endorse a loser pretty much, but with an org, you don't have to think about that. You have the security, right?
I guess that's another good point, a good counterpoint, actually.
On a very simple basis, though, I think it does add more pressure, but when you go into the server, you're in the server. You're not thinking about,
Sure.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm Cloud9. You're thinking about this is my...
No, definitely.
Well, no, I think
That's
when you go into the server, the only thing you're thinking about is the 5 teammates that are in TeamSpeak. You're not thinking, we're Cloud9, you know, whatever. You're just thinking, we have to win, like, you play as a unit, that's it.
But can you really genuinely tell me that when you're playing a game like we were playing there, you're not thinking in the back of your head, oh, I've got to do that invoice, I've got to do that. Like, do you not ever have those thoughts at all, ever?
No.
You don't let them...
No, when we were playing there, like, when I'm playing on my own, sure, absolutely, because I'm not being serious. But when we were playing in there, I was literally only thinking about the game. That's it. That's all I was doing. And what you want to do? So I was in the Twilight Zone and the Danger Zone all at once, simultaneously. I was in every zone. But it's like if you're just casually or death matching or whatever, yeah, you're always going to be thinking about like, why am I sitting here doing this when I have a million things to do? But when you're actually taking serious, like these guys you're not thinking about any of that. So I don't think that's a big deal in terms of what team, you know, play for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back. In CS, it's just freaking play. That's it. And I mean, just given how complex CS is, and we always discuss on the desk, it's probably hard for your brain to start thinking about anything other than the game when things are going down. Predictions, though, quickly, gentlemen. It does look like we're ready to jump into our game. It is Penta Hellraisers, you guys suggested. Results do favor the boys from Penta recently. What are you thinking?
That's true. Hellraisers did beat them on cash a couple 2 weeks ago, maybe in an online qualifier. But I'm still going to go with Penta for some reason.
Believing in Penta, and there's no real kind of justification for that, just because it is a bit of a coin flip. What you got for me, Matt?
I'm going to go Hellraisers, actually. Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this flashy dead fox. Let's see him go nuts. Let's see if there's any life in that dead fox.
Let's have a little look. The hunt is on for some sexy CS. It's going to be Hellraisers and Penta going down. Your casters involve 2 Australians.
Yeah, who better to go on the hunt for some sexy CS than 2 Aussies in denim? Very appropriate. I'm enjoying the pop collar there, Chad.
Yeah.
If you're unaware, it is Henry G Day, so if you do know the brand of denim, it's Dickies out for Henry G. But we're going to be jumping on to a doubleheader here, of course, as the boys have already highlighted for us. Hellraisers, though, you know, we talked about Penta having some decent results this season. We did see Hellraisers actually take Cobblestone off of Fnatic earlier in the season, so it's reasonable to say that we should have at least a decent stoush here.
Well, we're going to have a close game, I think, last night, but hopefully a better structured match. John, the coach for Hellraisers, he used to be the coach for Flipside, and they were a pretty structured team. So hopefully he can bring some of that with them, and we can see, you know, people actually winning their respective rounds.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that on Thursday night, Chad. We had an interesting game with Penta where there are a lot of rounds being won where there possibly shouldn't have been, and sort of vice versa as well. So let's see now how it all plays out. We're going to be jumping into the pistol round. Be Hellraisers starting on the T side. And this is Keish, if you're not familiar with it, guys.
Definitely Keish. Looks like a fast B play from Hellraisers here. I like this.
We're going to see all 5 go towards it. It's only going to be a Tarson to see this, so he's going to have to back away and just give the information away. You can see quickly Penta making the moves towards the B side over according to the minimap, but this is going to have to be a full retake scenario. They have a Molotov and a smoke to work with here, so they've got some gear. It's not really enough, though, is it, Chad, in your opinion?
No, Penta have prepped for this. They did an aim push, and they were willing to go up B, and they're going in right now nice and quick.
Bonnie going to start things off there as well. Stefan falls Tarson. Know what, Jen is going to at least trade things out, but it's going to be Angel there getting aggressive, but turned around again. It's going to be Lol here. Picking up Sticko and now 0 in a 1v2 situation. The bomb is down. He just needs to be a little bit careful about this. Doesn't need to commit as of yet. He knows there's no defuse in process here. It's just Lol with the kit. However, Mike S is going to allow his teammate to get a fairly straightforward defuse off their kit or no. It's going to be Penta taking away the pistol.
They were definitely prepped for that. You could see from their setup at the start that they had utility to get back in the site, use the Molotov to clear out a zone, use the smoke to give them a bit of cover. They did it perfectly. However, maybe they should have waited for Mike S a little bit longer. He was still on the big flank and he was ages away. But luckily, Lau is a gun as per usual.
Yeah, it got a bit messy in the moment, but with 2 players left for Penta, and easy enough to wrap things up here. So, the upgrades are WMP, another SMG in there as well, and LOL going to be on the M4 here. And we'll see Hellraisers make a split towards A.
Hellraisers are going to buy next round. You see they haven't bought any armor. They've only upgraded 1 pistol or 2 pistols, and they have a smoke. So this is just going to be another attempt to get a plant with that smoke grenade, and they'll probably bust out on the smoke here.
And Stefan will be the first to receive here. A little bit of smoke and obscure review, and Angel's already got to position as well. He catches him by surprise. Mike S as well fared no better. It's going to be Lol to try and calm things down a little bit from Truck. But Crystal, ever the aggressor, is going to be the one called on to come forward here. Still 4 players standing for Hellraisers, and another quick plant situation. Now Penta are wanting to set up. We know they like to play a bit of a retake on towards A, but Crystal goes in there. He is the spearhead, and he's making it work right now. Only a couple of players left. Dico does catch him out, and then Tarson, just a bit of an about face over towards the bomb site. 0 well out of position, and he won't be even able to stop his defense.
Zero was lurking there. I was watching him that whole round. He pushed into B once the plant came down, and he could have flanked and got a kill. He shot way too early at the truck player. The P250, especially in the back of the head, at that distance, you're hoping for a luck box kill, and nothing happened, and he gave away a chance there to be influential in that round. But we're going to see them buy up here.
Like you said, chat, on that second round, Hellraisers not really messing around in terms of their buys. Maybe a P250, as you did mention, for Zero. But that's about all she wrote. So, AK's coming into this round and plenty of utility to boot. So Hellraisers are set up here. If they want to go for some sort of execute, be it elaborate as it may, they'll be able to do that. Mike S in mid.
Penta just struggled getting out of spawn there. They must have had a miscommunication with dropping guns, because Crystal went back to grab that Famous.
And Sticko showed his traces there through the wall, gets the shot into him by Mike S, and that's going to take him quite low to start things off. Going to force him into a little bit more of a passive positioning here. And Bonic, oh, a good flash there in towards A main. There, Bonic's on the other side there, and Angel actually not looking to capitalize at all upon the flash. Just keeping Penta honest at this stage. No push in towards A main, although Lowell may have other ideas. He's got the backup of Stefan here, so if he gets cut down and Hellraisers try to push off the back of this could be big. Now Lowell goes in, sprays down, gets it done. Flash comes in, not going to bother him too much, but Dead Fox fires down on Stefan, who came in after Lowell.
That A main smoke wasn't deep enough, so Dead Fox was able to peek in front of it. The thing that we saw here is when Penta took A main control, it's because they lost mid control or decided not to play it. And if you don't have mid, you either need to be aggressive on B or aggressive on A, and they opted for that A play.
Well, they get the one kill at the very least here. Puts them in a man advantage. At least it's 4v3, and now Hellraisers, with what they have left, are going to try and pressure on towards this B site. It's going to be controlled here of Checkers. And Zero wants to push deep. He gets the kill. Sprays down on towards Tarson. Knows there's a player in low. Crystal, though, already makes short work of Dead Fox. So the smoke goes in. Bomb is still yet to be planted. That's in the hands of Sticko, so Penta have precious seconds, and that's good because Lowell's going to be rotating in, coming from behind, and Crystal somehow finds Sticko through the smoke. Doesn't quite get Zero, but that man's going to have to think twice about picking up the bomb here. It's risky business, but he goes in and grabs it.
Only 20 seconds left. If he gets the plan, he's done well. If they let him get it, that's another question. As last, yeah, they just pushed him. No respect there. Didn't want that extra cash for them. Another point to make there is Tarson in the site. It could have got a bit dicey there. He had no reason to pick. They hadn't smoked off the lower section, so Crystal still had first contact. He picked and died. It made it a little bit scary, but luckily Crystal was able to get that kill through the smoke, and pretty easy round in the end.
Oh, they managed to cut Hellraisers sort of quite thin on towards the side without seeing it, but Lowell was on the wide flank. So now with Hellraisers, 2 plants in the first 2 rounds, so buy on the third. So that's why you see this weird situation where they're forced into a bit of a deco on the 4th. Sticko hoping for something in towards mid, and Tarson's already taking a bit of a chunk damage there as well. Again, aggressive on towards B, like we've already seen the last couple rounds. Just trying to hold Hellraisers at bay. Angel's already falling. Crystal again feds himself another peek, but Tarson, for whatever reason, was behind his left shoulder. He cops the deagle shot. He falls. You can see his body there on the site. And now Mike S going to smoke out and try and hold Hellraisers off.
The long-range deagles here, if they can maybe work another pick or catch another CT off guard, they can more than likely take a bomb site, because there's a heavy B presence right now from Penta. As you see, Lau, yeah, he's got all the info. See that aggressive play? It means, okay, sure, it's risky, but he can tell his teammates to rotate. He's going to get caught off by... Whoa!
All right, then.
Okay, Stefan, lucky.
Gets away with it, and I guess he saved Lowell there as well. I mean, Hellraisers should be starting to read into this recurrent aggression in towards A main from Lowell, especially be it early or late round. It seems like he's more than happy to try and peek there for advantage and information, especially given that Penta know with Hellraisers buying on round 3, they're not going to have a lot to work with here.
Hellraisers need to start identifying that mid looks pretty weak. You know, they haven't played heavy there on any of their rounds, really. Send a bit of a, you know, a party out to probe that zone, and then you can pincer on the sides, and that is where Penta have to make the decisions. Nice shot by Dead Fox.
So the double deagle up and towards mid yields 1 kill. Still Hellraisers at a man disadvantage with 27 seconds in the round. There might be a play towards B here, up in vents. They have to break the vents in, that's the problem. So you can give away their position, and now time is of the essence. They've got no choice but to run across. Zero almost caught on the cross here, got himself an AK, but still his teammates cut down by Crystal, and so, in turn, is he. Penta lock it down yet again for a 4th consecutive round. And now Hellraisers have the money to buy back in again. So mid-control, Chad, seems to be the order of the day then.
Yeah, they're probably going to get, yeah, they got that auto on Dead Fox. This is a good call. Obviously, they went for that 3rd round buy, but because it was, they planted in the 1st, they planted in the 2nd, they still only had just enough money to do AKs. You want to get your AWPer and AWP as soon as possible, surprisingly. And getting it in on the 5th round, that's not too bad. See if they go for this mid-control I was talking about.
Well, Dead Fox doesn't seem to be thinking too much about mid at this stage. Smoke lobbed in there, probably by Crystal, in towards mid at least, and there's one in A main as well, as you can see. A little bit of damage shaved off of Angel there, but nothing to write home about. Lowell, though, a couple shots coming above him. I think Hellraisers expect to be someone in the boosted spot, but Lowell studiously actually puts himself just short of it. And Hellraisers now a bit of a pause for thought here. They start to turn their thoughts towards mid. I mean, there's no one really from Penta there to be presenting. So regardless of what Angel sort of peeks over and finds, it's not going to yield too much info. However,
as soon as Crystal gets pressured here, you're more than likely going to see him fall back to A. They're not playing a setup where they can really contest middle. And where he is, it's almost a one and done spot unless you get lucky with the timings or they're not really set up to trade. But yeah, Hellraisers are now going to take mid. Quick flash over.
Not concerned about any close plays. Didn't see the double smoke set up now, but Crystal thought he might peek then. The flash was fairly well timed, but Angel had protection from inside. So now Crystal just backing away towards A, as you did predict, and Hellraisers start to exercise a bit of control over this middle part of the map. They can still work fence, still have to bang that in event out though, and give their position away, and they've done so now. On towards B, Tarson ready, but he goes down very, very quickly on the side. Crystal, this is classic Crystal, wants to try and challenge, at least spray down through the smoke. You never know what you're going to get, but this time, not a lot. Molotov on, Penta hoping to slow Hellraisers, but they push up via the generator, and LOL won't see them until Sticko gives him a little bit more skin. He does, he shows, and LOL delivers.
Stefan on the flank here. Can't see him right now, but Angel also flanking, so it's going to be battle of the flank. Oh,
yeah. It's getting messy in the side. Angel gets his flank off, though, gets himself a kill on towards Mike S, and now Stefan is on his own. He's not even on the side. He doesn't quite have control yet, so he still needs to be the man on the ball. He needs to make the move. Bondic staying safe. That Molotov will shake him out of position. Stefan needs to be ready to capitalize. Well, he essentially was, but Bondic gets the spray down a bit better. It's a headshot, and it's going to give Hellraisers their first round of the match. Working through mid, peeking on towards B, which was the weaker side. Penta tried to rotate, but they lost Tarson so early. Hellraisers had control.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of map territory then, and they didn't retake parts of the map like I was talking about. When you lose middle, it's very easy to pop flash and take A main. Also to note, Hellraisers didn't recover that AWP, so Dead Fox is back on the AK. He didn't have any real success with it that round, but it's definitely something you want to have in his hands. Bit quicker round now.
Yeah, see it come through. Molly's in. Mykes, well, if you wanted to peek, you would have no choice to do so. Penta down towards his pistols here. Not a lot of armor between them, just on two players, Mykes and Stefan. And Tarson with rather advanced positioning here. Now, he's ducked himself into Sunroom, so Zero may not be aware of this at all. Big opportunity for Tarson if he just picks his fights correctly and the timing sort of in his favor. The rest of Hellraisers now Indian file in towards those vents. They're going to break it in. They're going to push forward. So Tarson holds his nerve and he'll be able to get himself at least one kill out of this situation, maybe even an AK. Now he wants to go. Sees Dead Fox, sees Zero as well. Has to pick his targets correctly, but no! He fluffs his lines. He eventually gets the kill though. And although it's only really... Oh, that's a nice shot towards Dead Fox as well. I thought it was only for distraction, but then gets a kill. Angel now has to clean this mess up. He does, but Hellraisers are down to 3 players. Couple drop guns. Angel wants to protect them and Stefan wants to take them for himself. But in the meantime, the bomb is down over at that B site. LOL takes down Angel. This is big for Penta that managed to make a lot out of very, very little. With Bondic falling, Mykes gets up close with that CZ and Sticko. He is dead to right. Stefan comes straight on through, and as quickly as Hellraisers get a sniff of the cheese and buy some weapons, it's going to be Penta coming in with 2 kits of armor and a bunch of pistols and take the round right out from under him.
Thank God Tarson recovered there. They had a couple of sitters lined up and he whiffed away, but those 2 kills, hugely impactful. Obviously, we saw it just meant that Angel had to worry about too many things. The planter had to get the bomb down. Someone had to cover heaven and lower for him while Angel was trying to watch vents and the big flank. It was too much to watch, and the timings from Penta were perfect, and they're able to capitalize, and now their economy is looking nice and juicy.
Yeah, plenty of money to sit on here. May not look like much, but they've just bought into that. Now, of course, with Hellraisers having to go very cheapskate themselves, another chance for Penta to bolster said economy. Work a little bit more on the money. Mike S, is he on the money? Oh, you better believe it. Sticko falls there, a little bit of a tag, but nothing, again, for Mike S to really be concerned about.
That's probably a tilt round for Hellraisers there. I know it's still early in the match, but considering a few fiery personalities they have, the death touched on Bondic.
Well, now Angel's super aggressive at all times as well.
Yeah, they need a boxing bag or something near the table to... There we go. That's nice.
All right.
Get one of them.
Mike S down. AWP also dropped, but Crystal's probably there to pick it up. We know Crystal was a secondary AWP, even though he doesn't have that role in this team, is quite efficient, quite effective at that. It's actually more so Tarson that does the AWPing. But Angel, again, hoping for something else here. Another boost up. Sees Crystal show himself. Nah, not going to be quite enough there. LOL chimes in, and that was from the Sugar Cube as well. Bondic, no run in on towards this A site there. It's going to be a Molotov dropped at the door. I think in the upcoming patch, it won't pass under doorways, but for now, I think the door was open anyway. So it's Tarson at B, Chad, and Hellraisers with 3 players, a couple pistols to work with here. What's the play?
I just want to touch on this for people who are watching and thinking, what are they doing right now? Why are they so spread out? Why are they basically doing a default with only pistols? What is the point of this? They have just made Penta use all of their grenades. Look, they have 3 nades left across the team, and they all started with full HEs. You're expending income. They have to rebuy those nades, right? So you're hurting them financially in that situation, and you know, potentially grabbing a pick, and they've done good. Oh, jeez, Dead Fox almost there onto the site, and they're going to split on A here.
Yep. Grenade thrown by him doesn't really find too much. And Dead Fox actually recovering the AWP. For some reason, Mike S or whoever was there when Mike S died didn't pick it up. But now, pop flash in from Lola. 20 down by 1. Stefan just going to try and make dirty work of that one. Spray down and through and head Dead Fox. Not much he can do there at that range. He was sat on the bomb side, hoping for a plant or something. So that AWP will be dropped, handed back to its standard recipient in Mike S. But Hellraisers now, it's a buy for them here. Dead Fox can go AWP if he fancies it, but won't have all the kit and caboodle. He'll be having himself a helmet here and not even any Kevlar.
Just a note, yeah, he's gone for nades instead of the Kev, which means he either has, like, the strat caller has a strat in mind where he needs those nades,
right,
or he's just got balls of steel.
I'm
hoping it was the first one.
We love a bit of Kev, though, sometimes, don't we?
Big Kev.
Kev 747. Well, anyway, smoke in mid.
This is good by Penta. This is Penta's best map in my opinion, and I think the reason is because they're such a diverse, you know, CT side, and they've continuously changed things up. And right now, Crystal's going to get an easy flank, easy kill, easy life.
Yeah, that kind of player, that's the one you want to sort of go deep into the opponent backline and find them. And now Hellraisers, again, they're going to have to go for B, and Penta are ready again to sort of play that retake scenario.
Good decision making. This is great decision making.
By Hellraisers?
Yeah, they've just like pushed straight into B. They knew that they had to play 2 players mid and boost over, and they knew that there was a couple of guys on A, and they're straight in this B site. This is reactive Counter-Strike. If you lose a player and you can make a quick decision like this, get a nice kill, get in, it's great work. But this retake could be fast from Penta as Lau's going to throw on a really good pop flash.
Right, they're going to try and get aggressive, but Zero gives him the big fat goose egg. It's going to be Sticker to chime in with 2 of his own, and Penta aren't able to make the retake happen. Definitely more astute working with it on towards that A site. With B, it's very, very hard to break back in, and Hellraisers, like you said, made the right call, and that's sort of off the back of that mid-play we've started to see them, I guess, err more on the side of.
So decision making, right? Like what we just saw, they were down a man, but they made a swift decision. This is what Counter-Strike comes down to. You know, you need to have reactions in place, and you know, if you can drill them as a team, and the in-game leader can say these are the preset decisions we're going to make, makes it so much easier because players know how to react. And
right.
I don't know if that was just the back of Psycho just going, I'm going for B, going to even this up, and it just, you know, paid out, or it was a predetermined idea. And good play regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. And regardless of the round, the Hellraisers absolutely needed at this stage just to stem the bleed, if nothing else. So they get an AWP back for Dead Fox. This time he has himself a bit of armor. But a slow round from Hellraisers. Dead Fox peeking in towards A main here. You can see, we've seen Lowell stand in this position through the cover of smoke in A main. So reasonable for him to look there, but Lowell's sitting back up in that container. So ready to receive. It's a fairly rock-solid hold on that A site for the moment for Penta. And they split themselves over B. So it does look like Hellraisers want to test on the A. It's going to be a Molotov in towards that squeaky door. That's going to stop Bondic from pushing through anytime soon. Hellraisers, do they wait this one out? Do they go for something of their own? It's one towards NBK just to shake anyone out, but no one's there. Now with the Molotov being extinguished, Bondic wants to push in, and this is going to work out. Dead Fox gets the first shot in. Lowell now has to step up. Mikes rapidly trying to get himself over towards this A site, but the use of utility here for Hellraisers has netted them a bit of real estate. Smoke up, and Lowell through the smoke can't see a heck of a lot. Bomb going down right under their noses.
That was a really good take. They used the flashes quite systematically, and they were able to get the site quite easily. But now here's the drama. The retake's coming in from Penta. They've shown success at this.
Dead Fox, though. Cheeky little peek up there on towards the forklift, and there wasn't much that Lowell could do about it. At least he gets himself in the backstab position, but only 1 kill. That's all he's going to get from that one. Nice little take there from Hellraisers. They knew that they could plant under the nose of Penta when they had the smokes down correctly. The retake there, Chad, not really working out.
No, good positioning by Hellraisers. When you take a bomb site and you have a set strat, which is exactly what they just did, and it works as well as it did, you know, they didn't really lose anybody while they got the site and got the bomb down. You talk about the positions you're going to hold afterwards. These are predetermined zones, or at least I'd hope they are, because you have players who will have better weaponry for certain places, or you have a guy who's going to plant the bomb, and people need to know the crossfires that you're going to set up based off of your strat. It's going to be quick now from HR.
That's what we like. Bit of aggression. Angel again wants to go into mid, just in case there's a player from Penta close on this eco round, up to try and use that pistol. There's a lot of players in towards mid. Angel could be in trouble. He ducks away there as he gets the spray down, and Dead Fox is going to be there to assist. So is Bondic. A lot of guns trained on this part of the map, and well, it is Crystal on his own. Crystal Cannon, no armor for the man, just the P250. And hopefully his aim's going to be better than Tarson's in this case. He's going to need it to be in, and not much more than that. couple low health players here on Hellraisers. No chance of salvaging a gun, but maybe inflicting some economic damage would be the goal here. Peeks out, a couple shots in and out, wants to go for more. Crystal always looking for his next opportunity. Given an inch, he'll take a mile. He takes Bondic very, very low. He's thinking about it. He's going to get pushed in there. His Angel comes in. The grenade also drops just after he fell. And Hellraisers not losing a player there in that anti-eco, although it was close, fairly clean.
It was good discipline there. Most teams would just run in, you know, looking for the final guy. They're like, we don't want to give them anything. We're not going to give up any guns. We're not going to give up any dollary dues to them. We're just going to play this safe, play it as a team. Made that kill pretty easy. One thing I want to touch on, while you're watching this, people might be sitting there going, why aren't they really doing a lot of the start of the round? Why are they sitting back? This is the perfect example of a default on Cage. This is a map where the CTs have a lot of room for aggression. They can go for aggressive AWP picks at A main, they can go for aggressive AWP picks at B, even squeaky door. Middle is a hard place to get involved in as a T at the start of the round. So what you do is you sit, you listen, you wait out utility, and you have a setup. So in A main, they have a guy sit behind the A main box, and then they have the AWP at the back. The reason for that is teams love to pop flash into A main. The guy behind the box looks at the ground, flash comes in, he steps up, he kills the guy. You know, nice little crossfires, nice little understandings like that. And once the in-game leader, you know, he's gone, okay, well, this is the information that I've been given, computes it all, makes a decision. We can do this execute, we have this map territory, we've heard this happen, we know this weapon's here. All these decisions are made in every single round when you do a default, and this is the basis of Counter-Strike. So it might look boring at the start, but it's definitely a very important thing to do, and it's hard for a team, you know, a team who can do it perfectly.
So what's the difference then between a team who's playing the time well on the T side, maybe waiting out some of this utility, and then a team that's just sort of stuffing around and sort of wasting their time? We always see sometimes from teams like maybe Flipside, sometimes they err on the side of being a little bit too slow on maps where they don't even have to be.
So you can sit right back and, you know, you give up a little bit of room, but teams know that if they try and push, they're going to get their head taken off. Whereas this kind of style, it's a little bit more aggressive. You're going to actually find yourself in firefights if they do aggressive stuff. The way that Flipside do it is really no risk, right? You're playing no risk, and then as you take the parts of the map, you methodically do it with partners. In this version of a default, you have most of the time, it's one person watching one zone. One guy watching B, one guy watching mid, one guy watching squeaky, so there's bigger risk. Flipside sit further back, so the risk is negated. Their style is, it's really good if, you know, you can mix it up and you can play a faster brand of Counter-Strike, because you can catch teams off guard and teams get impatient, especially if you verse a team that thinks they're better than you, they're going to be aggressive. So being a passive team in that scenario is always a good thing.
So we've got Hellraisers here. We've seen some of how their defaults have played out. You know, like you said, they've sort of been passive towards B main, wait for a peak, the same at A main, wait for someone to try and flash them in. Often LOL is the instigator here. And then sort of work that one player into mid and go from there. Is that sort of how you want to see sort of a default play on towards this map work when you're not being given early kills? Because obviously you've got to make a decision to go eventually on this map. Like you said, teams can get a little bit split. You can't always buddy system every zone.
So you can invest either heavily and early in the round. You saw them do it before. They used some Molotovs over mid, but it was versus the eco. That's a fast mid take. We in Renegades used to call that Flipside mid smokes, and it was an idea to get mid early because most teams only have one guy holding mid. You have 2 at A, 2 at B, and 1 mid. Alternative setups is 3 in mid or 2 in mid and boost 1 through the vent, stuff like that. But when you overwhelm with 5 guys, the perfect flashes and Molotovs being used to negate certain positions and push them away, you can take mid control really early even, and then you can turn it into B splits, A splits. You can do like the B split through connector. There's so much you can just even fall everyone back off mid, hit a side together. That's one way of taking the map quicker. And then, you know, the other 2 versions of the defaults. Those are the 3 methods which I'd like to see, you know, used quite a lot. And then once those precedents are set of each style, then you can bring in like really aggressive set executes off the bat, you know, fast, explosive plays where you pop flash your teammates through, you know, their A main smoke and catch them off guard, basically with their pants down as they're holding out smokes and Molotovs ready to go through the motion, so to speak.
So I guess one example, I mean, it's a little bit obvious, maybe almost cliche by now, is the NIP-B execute on the T side when you see a lot of Molotovs used. There's 2 Molotovs used in towards the checkers. They drop some on the site there as well. That's what you would sort of say is that heavy investment you make sort of early in the round?
So if you play a really slow default style like Flipside do, then you open yourself up to being able to do set executes off the bat, right? Because teams are going to assume that you're doing the super slow default style, but you don't need a lot of map territory to be able to do a set execute on this map. So the NIP execute you're talking about, you can go set up in Sunroom. You can go set up all your smokes behind their aggressive smoke, execute behind it. They're going to think you're doing a passive play, and you're all there super early, and that's when you catch teams off guard. And those mix-ups of play, especially with timing, speed, strategy, that's when your in-game leader is feeling on, if he's a good in-game leader that can, and you have a diverse amount of strategies and good depth in your game style, that's the stuff that he's going to be doing. He's going to be calling that up based on the opponent also that you're playing. But Virtus Pro, when I was watching them before, their Mirage T side was perfect. They were doing set executes. They were setting the mid default precedent where they were taking a lot of control, doing splits from there. Then they were doing the fake where they'd just send Pasha by himself and then regroup to a site and execute as a 4-man unit. You need that diversity. You need to be able to be a team with a lot of depth.
There you go. Good bit of yarn, a little bit about... Oh, a repause comes in here. Always
Yeah.
to jump back in the game and see if no one's really having ping issues here. So, right then, I'll carry on a little bit. So if you're Penta, right, and obviously this is a map where you can sort of get up close and make sort of plays, especially on those eco rounds where you can use those pistols to good effect. What are you doing as a CT side then to make sure that your opponents can't do that, I guess? So, you talk about a lot of these aggressive smokes from the CTs, maybe just that can actually cover the setup of the T sides.
Yep.
How do you avoid that? Do you just do that? Do you push for early information and push for early aggression?
We've seen them do two types so far. They've done a little bit of aggression where they did that boost over and it didn't work for them. The other version they did was a retake on the bomb site.
Right.
And both are good, alternatives to use, but the best position you can find yourself in is not where the T side is dictating play, and that's currently what's happening. The best way to stop that, I think, is by going aggressive and shutting them down. Well,
there you heard it. So we'll see if Penta can actually do a bit of that. We've seen them try. They've dipped their toes in the water of aggression over at A. Often Lowell wants to get himself involved in the fight, but now Mykes just gets cut down towards mid. And this is a gun round, by the way. So Mykes losing there very, very early on is not good. We're talking about Hellraisers wanting to take that mid control. Well, the door's just been opened for them. Lowell and Crystal are back in towards that mid area. Crystal hoping just to sort of stand vigil there if he possibly can, and this is maybe a little bit more of a defensive setup. Allow mid to be taken, then maybe take a pick later on. But Hellraisers be absolutely laughing.
That right there is an example of what I was talking about. Every time they've done a default so far, nobody's faced middle, right? Maybe Styko or whoever, I think it's Zero, is the mid player. Maybe he's spammed a little bit of ammo through the wall. But this time, Mike got complacent. He stepped wider than he should have. He would just expect that smoke to go down and nobody to pick. Yep. But Angel, he had a good spawn. He got there quick and took advantage of that. So they're going to hit A right now. And Angel once again going aggressive as an entry fragger.
Yeah, it's going to be responded by Lol though very, very quickly. And a grenade on towards Angel there by Crystal, who was just bringing up the rear, trying to rotate in. But looks like they've been sold a bit of a kipper here because there's 3 players from Hellraisers that want to work on towards B. That smoke didn't go where intended.
That's a terrible smoke.
Tarson has an opportunity here as well. Look at this. He's stopped Hellraisers in their tracks. They've had to re-smoke this one, and now they can essentially cross. Sticko goes first. He's the low-health player, but this has allowed Tarson and Crystal to get ready.
It's a 3v3 retake. The 2 Molotovs, they can keep Heaven Molotov for at least, almost 20 seconds. It depends if they're going to use it on the same spot or not, because Dead Fox with the orb, you can't see him right now, but he's dropping back, so he's the clutch player in this situation for Hellraisers.
Well, he needs to keep himself safe, of course. Now Spray comes in, Zero going to get 1. It's traded back out. Dead Fox comes in, though. Gets on towards Crystal. Now Lol has the challenge. It's a 1v2. Sticko is low. He's also keeping himself scarce. Good positioning from the man with less than 10 health. Able to take down Lol, and Hellraiser starting to build ahead of steam. Having to buy a few more guns back in, of course, here, but set Penta down to a bit of a low point in terms of their economy. Again, bit of a fake. Put 2 players on towards A. Sure, they both go down, but then they have that B side dead to rights.
That was perfect, the way they did that. Angel getting the entry frag on the site obviously helps selling that fake, and those B players were instantly rotating. They didn't hesitate at all. This is the difference between, say, like an Envy, where the in-game leader sits right back and basically, doesn't bait, but he does the lurking job. In this situation, Angel, the in-game leader, he's the entry fragger, and I like it. It's the way that I like to play as an entry fragger, because once you see how the bomb site looks and you've gone out there and you've gone, hey, I know that there's certain players in these positions, you can make a perfect call, and it's always good when you are getting those kills. It fills you with a bit of confidence.
And of course, being able to be at the head when you can make your own decisions. Often, Henry talks about that a lot. He'd like to be an entry fragger and a caller as well, because there's a bit less input lag to the front players. If they're trying to relay information, Henry can sort of just do what he wants. So, interesting little difference to keep an eye out for, ladies and gentlemen. When you watch your favourite teams, think about what the role of that IGL is and where they play on the map. But now it will be Lol, Stefan. I believe there's an extra play here as well, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be 2. Stefan challenges here from the forklift. It's not going to be enough, though. He eventually gets cut down. Very, very, very slow shots coming in from the P250. You're not going to net anything. And then they just lobbed over by Sticko. It's a bit of an easy job here for Hellraisers. They knew their opponents weren't well armoured, or sometimes at all. And Tarson now with the 5-7. Zero is lurking in towards mid here, so he should easily be able to clean this one up. And Hellraisers have equalised here as well. They've won the last 5, including this round in a row. That's some decent bank being built up there as well. And looks like they've read, you know, a little bit of Penta. Looks like they got a bit of information off of them there, whether it's Angel or Jonta really making the big calls there. They've been able to sort of suss out where most of the German squad are setting themselves on this map.
I like that, though. As an A execute, if you know the other team's eco, you're using your nades and flashes, Molotovs, all that kind of stuff to clear out the close corners. And they've done that execute twice now. But this time, there's something that I just want to notice. The Dead Fox is setting up for a flash for his squeaky player, right? So they Molotov, MBK, and quad. And here's a flash which is going to land just in front of that quad box. So anybody standing in the rest of the site is going to be completely white. It's such a small detail, but it's so important because that line, the CT has the advantage. He's close up, he's ready to shoot. If that flash is going to play a big role if they keep doing that execute, I think.
Again, Dead Fox has got 2 of them, so I'm sure we want to put them to good use here. Now, 6 apiece. This T-side endeavour from Hellraisers had looked increasingly good, or better, over the last few rounds, but now Penta buy back in yet again. It'll be Marquez with the AWP. This time, not challenging in mid. He got smashed last time, and no one from Penta actually picked up the AWP after the fact, which is interesting in itself.
This is going to be a fast execute onto A. So this is because they're assuming they're going to do a default, but they're all going to appear in their face any second now. The smokes are going to come over.
All right, let's see. Marquez going to be able to be very, very sharp on his first shot. Doesn't quite hit it. Actually gets hit as he goes through, but Stefan manages to burn 0 to the ground, and now shots are coming in from Squeaky. Sticking up, finding anything overly significant so far, but Bondic just comes straight over the top. Gets himself 1. It's traded out. It's 2 players left here for Hellraisers. Dead Fox still inside A main, or at least he backs up an A main now.
Oh,
and
wow.
Sticko gets that kill on towards Lol as he himself is on the back foot. Options are still open here for Hellraisers, or they seem to be taking a break on A for now.
They can drop back now, work together, maybe boost Dead Fox up, go for a mid pick, take a bit of map control, force the CTs to rotate around. The options right now are endless for HR. The problem with Penta is they were all committed as Tarson just rotates back to middle, we can see. And he's looking at the boost. This is great read by him. He's going to get Dead Fox, surely.
It's all going to come down to that shot. Tarson is pushing up close. Eventually, he won't be able to actually watch that angle. Stefan, though, up at Sugar Cube, just bangs the vent in there. Might give away some sort of presence here, but Dead Fox might not expect it to be so close. Back to A, though. Dead Fox are flashing towards mid, and now they're working towards A. And Crystal is on his own here at quad. He can be flushed out. Sticko has a Molotov. He's going to let it go now. Crystal, rather predictable position, but Dead Fox, the timing not quite there. Now the flash comes in. He could have had himself an easy kill, but this is time for Penta to respond to this push. Stefan will be sat on highway, and Dead Fox looking to challenge there over Toxic Barrel. Sticko gets the job done, though, but do they know that Crystal's really close? Sticko, though, challenged out, and now Dead Fox with 6 points of health, not able to make it happen towards the end, but you could really see the cogs, the well-oiled machine of Hellraisers churning there as they hedged their bets and went back to A.
Just so you wonder why they didn't play 1 player A, 1 mid, and 1 B. If you stretch your defense in a 2v3 situation like that, you're opening yourself up to 1v1s or 1v2s. You want to try and keep your unit together, and Crystal wasn't facing either. His job was to let them into the bomb site and kill them as they started to plant, because that buys your teammates enough time to rotate in and bait for you, and it's a good play. You see this one-way smoke, it's just going to pop on the boost right now. It's a one-way smoke, and what it does is, because now the smoke doesn't put out the Molotov through textures, that acts as a one-way, and it puts out the Molotov. So it's a good little innovation there by Hellraisers. I think I saw that first by, I think it was Cyberzen, actually. They were doing it with Savage.
It no longer extinguishes Molotovs that it's above or below, but in that case it's still... Well, at least that's coming with the update. I'm not sure if that's been active now. I think it might have been active with the jump changes. Anyway, Angel ideally wants to go and get the bomb. Bondic not having any of it, said, stuff you. And now they're going to go for it again.
Got to get back on those KZ maps.
That's it. A little bit of rust in the joints there, Chad, but nothing to worry about here as Hellraisers again start to spread into mid. Now it's 4v4. And they're looking over towards Vents here. So Crystal shifting nervously back and forth. Knows there's a good chance he's going to get a bit of attention soon. As Stefan has received the call. Get yourself over towards B as Hellraisers are starting to strike. They're poised, they're ready to move, and Crystal takes a pick, takes a shot, takes the kill as well. The bomb goes loose, and now Hellraisers, they've got to go. It is time to push. The nade goes in towards Jen. Doesn't quite catch Sticko. In fact, it does. Puts him very, very low. And now Stefan was in a great position to capitalize, but Sticko finds him too. Has to plant the bomb, but he has time. Mike S will go towards Heaven, and Lol will be flanking around the side. So Penta should be able to break this one open with the 2 of them here.
Yeah, if they play this well enough, they should have this pretty easily, but there is a chance that Mike S will shoot him with the ult. And the round's over.
Good chance there.
Yeah.
I like the prediction, actually. That was good. You sort of knew how that was going to happen before, even though it came out afterwards. I knew where you were going with that one. So 8-6 it is. One more round left in the half, and Hellraisers, well, A very, very good little burst of action has given them a good buffer of money to sit on, such that they could buy even in this event where they obviously did lose the last 2 rounds. So
yeah, that was a very important round for PENTA. If they didn't win that round, they would have been bankrupt right now, and it would have been, you know, 8-7 going in the favor of Hellraisers most likely. But look at Lau. The guy has 17 frags. He's beasting. He's stand out every time we watch him play. It's great to see, you know, players with this potential. They can play against any opponent and play successfully.
Well, great news for PENTA, though. I'm sure people are eyeing the Spaniard off here for future devs. Angel, this time gets caught with his pants down.
There's the man we're talking about. He's going to get traded by Bonding, and Bonding's going to open up again. Going to get orbed by Mykes.
Oh, this is beautiful.
It's B.
Tarsin gets himself 2 kills through the smoke there. He got 1, sure. Dead Fox pushes ahead, but then Sticko just walked in a straight line, and that's an easy lineup for Tarsin to make. Sticko has the bomb, but it would have been a 3v3 with all players on towards the B side, and Hellraisers have lost 2 of the aforementioned just before they hit it. Sure enough, a Molotov goes in towards Heaven. That'll keep Crystal back for at least a moment, but Zero really has to hedge his bets here. Makes the correct decision. Nice challenge on towards Tarsin there. Cuts down that presence in towards lower. Grenade goes in, doesn't catch on towards anyone, and Zero again still has to deal with 2 players on this site. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful stuff.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah, Hellraisers make it happen. Zero gets a nice little spray down. The flash timing was so damn good. And I just had to give it a bit of breathing room, a bit of silence so we could all appreciate that one. But beautiful stuff there from Zero. It was a situation the round prior that Hellraisers weren't able to come out on top in, but sometimes individual skill prevails there. And we've been enjoying this little display from Hellraisers.
Yeah, close like we expected. And it's been a better brand of CS than what we saw last night. People are winning the rounds they should. It's clean. I'm liking the T side that Hellraisers brought to that. I'm liking the diversity that PENTA brought to their city side. It's a good Counter-Strike, good individual performance from Lau, and hopefully we have a good second half.
Gold star from Spongeos here at the desk. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we return, the second half of Cash will be continuing. Welcome back to the ESL Pro League, everybody, and it's been a bit of a slugfest here between PENTA and Hellraisers to kick things off. Now, Hellraisers come in with only 7 rounds at halftime. I say only, but we have to say we've been impressed by seeing the thought processes exposed as they played and adapted to what PENTA have been showing here.
I think the half is fair. I liked what both teams did, and I'm glad that, you know, it's 8-7. It's a close match. It's not a blowout. This is one of the maps, Cage, for people who aren't, you know, too familiar, that is a close one. This is like a Dust 2 where you want to see 8-7, 9-6 kind of halves either way. And here we get into the pistol round.
Yep, it's going to be Penta on the T side here. It looks like they're on their way to B. Hellraisers only with 0 on the side. He'll get some early information, hopefully not die for it, and he does. He's made the call, and Angel quickly going to dip in over towards the vents here. Zero going to be tested now. Peace out. Good flash in as well. It gives him so much choice there on shots he wants to take, but unfortunately only gets himself one. Angel has been sort of clammed up here inside the vents, but the bomb goes down. Penta has the sights.
Dead Fox is lining up a Molotov here, so this is another situation where they know that they're potentially retaking. As Angel goes down in the vent, the Molotov comes in, and here's the retake as Bondic is onto Mike S.
Sticko, couple shots here, just dipping his toes in the water as well. Bondic, he's the man here with the Tech 9 doing damage. Crystal's very, very low. A couple shots will send him packing, but no, it's going to be Tarsing a challenge from the other side. It's not going to be enough. Dead Fox lines him up and knocks him down. Nicely done from him. 2 for the round, and of course Bondic with his own double. Now it's going to be the retake and defuse here by Hellraisers. Brings the game even. Stevens.
Cop that one, eh? Dead Fox with nice 2 close range USP shots there. It was, you know, we saw Hellraisers go towards B on their pistol round as well, so must be favoured by these guys, the B site.
Well, we managed to catch out Hellraisers. Well, Hellraisers were caught out, I guess, at the beginning there. Penta had control, but the retake was very, very nice. Nice, as it were. So triple famous here with the UMP, and of course Dead Fox going to go straight towards the M4. So perhaps a slightly delayed AWP for him, depending on how the next few rounds go, but he's probably not complaining. He can always hand that over anyway. And Penta, well, a few pistols bought into this one. P250s here.
Yeah, the reason that you see Hellraisers on the SMGs, on the rifles as opposed to SMGs, is because they must have watched how Penta plays. Penta don't seem to force buy into too many situations. They'll take the eco after they get the plant and go for the gun round on the third.
That's a big nade that came in. That cuts them very, very low, and Angel's able to make a very quick, swift peek out here from Highway. Some more spray, doesn't actually catch him anything else. And Crystal, well, Bonnet gets a little bit too close for comfort there, and now Angel has to do a little bit more heavy lifting. Spread some damage over towards Crystal, who managed to abscond with the UMP. And Penta can back away from the site here. Now, Hellraisers, it's their move. They've got to make the push here. Decent grenade. That could catch Crystal. Oh, the double dunk. Get around him, boys. It's Crystal and Stefan to fall. Sticko makes it work. He gets himself a 3 just to pad the stats a little bit more. And now LOL, arguably out of position here, lacking teammates where it really counts. The bomb going to be defused easily enough, and that man will have to hold on to his P250 and wonder at what could have been.
Nice little Hadouken grenade there, you know, doing a lot of damage.
Hadouken.
That's a
bloody Hadouken,
That's
mate.
a Boom's a special, that one.
Oh, God. Don't bring Scotty into this, man. I can't. Oh, the old days.
I want to see something fast out of Penta. The defaults, you know, they were fun, but let's see a fast execute off the bat. Nah, looks like it's going to probably be a default.
Got the 5 AKs here. Bit more mobile. No, Penta might not be fancying that one right now. Molotov goes up on high, is going to deny them, and actually allows Sticko to nest himself in this position here. He can assist himself in towards B and in towards mid. Penta, though, some utility coming out here. Not a whole lot. Has gained them ground, though. That's the thing. They're still obviously playing that fairly passive early round, as you sort of highlighted in the previous half, is what is the norm for your T sides.
Is it 3 on the B side of the map? Am I seeing that right? Yeah, 1 in the vent, 1 checkers, and 1 B site. So they must be expecting a B play here from Penta. They're set up for wall smokes. Yeah, we're going to see wall smokes. So it will probably be a B split. This setup is going to wreck them.
Oh, Dead Fox is ready for it. A lot of action in mid. Yeah, a couple smokes coming in here as well through mid. So maybe Penta do opt to go in towards the vents. Sticko's already left the vents. He doesn't really want to take anything at close range here. Give himself a little bit more breathing room.
It's a fake.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not. I guess they're making a push towards A now. A little bit of utility left for Penta. They've expunged a fair bit of it. Hellraisers still have some to boot.
You see how 0 went aggressive on B there. That's how they knew it's not a fake, and they've rotated over to A accordingly. As now they're coming in, Bondic and Angel inside, ready for this.
Angel backs away towards quad there. A couple players now starting to show themselves on the side. Crystal, he just sees the inch of him there as Bondic's going to come through, get taken down. No kill for him. Bomb loose, though. Now the switch towards USP won't be finding anything for Angel. However, the cavalry will arrive. Sticko finds on towards Stefan, and he gets himself another one here as well. It's been a good half for Sticko so far. 3 kills for him in that round. And that buy, the 5 AKs for Penta, completely shut down.
I'm going to go ahead and say that was a bit of research done by Hellraisers there, because they had 3 towards B at the start of the round. That's, you know, pretty unusual for a first gun round. And they also knew if they played aggressive once they saw that fake execute come in, that they'd have all the info they need to read it, and they read it perfectly. So that was it. Well, I'll give that one to Jonta then, I think, Mr. Coach.
Well, Sticko was very quickly in towards B main, like you said, so they knew that no one was sort of lingering on the side of Penta. I knew they'd be pushing towards A. And it was an appropriate response. That's a nice one from Dead Fox there. Takes down Crystal, who was hoping to find something probably with the Deagle through mid. A grenade follows it here, a warning shot. Tarson still disregards it and hopes to find something with his own Deagle. Sees a pixel from Dead Fox, but gives himself away in the process now. An Angel there as well. Freed, oh, hello. Bomb goes over the top here. I guess Tarson's going to have to duck back and grab that one here, but a little bit dangerous. Dead Fox in mid though, should be able to cut down. He will allow the bomb to be grabbed and give mid control to Penta.
Deagles in mid is such a scary thing. If you like take 1 or 2 tags, it pushes you right back, and that's what we've seen with Dead Fox here. As they're going to continue to poke and prod with these bad boys and look for another member of Hellraisers, but it's quieting down right now.
A couple of players in towards B. Vents being banged in. Zero about ready to let loose the Molotov here as well. And with Mike falling down, options starting to thin out a little bit there, as are the players for Penta. It's just Tarsin left now. Has to pick over the flames, trying to find Sticko here. He's had a good chance, and he finally takes the kill. Sticko must have been reloading or something similar there, not able to find the shot. For Tarsin, a heck of a lot on his plate. Hellraisers have had a relatively clean anti-eco round. All right, Zero. He falls backwards over the double stack here, and Tarsin fights him with a Deagle. Now another one. Okay, then now we're getting somewhere. We're cooking with gas. Tarsin with 3 kills for the round. Sees one behind him. It's going to be Angel to fall down. Say it isn't so. Chad, please hold me. It's going to be Tarsin going over towards the A side. Gets himself an M4 after cutting down 4 of the Hellraisers players.
He's going to outplay Dead Fox here. If he just stays quiet for a little bit longer, he'll be able to get into B, and Dead Fox will already be rotating A. Oh, he's heard him now. He's heard him now.
Tarsin Molotov in hand. Will he use it before the bomb plant? No, bomb's going to go down, so Dead Fox is going to gain some position towards B main, but this is maybe less than optimal angle to push from.
Well, both are throwing their mollies.
Righto, giving it away. That's the game. Give it away. Wow. Tarsin comes out. He gets himself the ace, and a stunning performance from the man. The caller for Penta, he knows how to make the plays. 4 kills with the Deagle, then runs away with the round. Hellraisers have got to be kicking themselves.
Was that a 1v5?
Well, essentially. Yeah. Oh, and it was in a 1v3 at one point, so I don't know how it traded through. Yes, the noddies from the cameraman.
That was a 1v5.
Tarsin Brosk, you beast.
That's nuts. That's like, he hit some great shots there. Like, they were complacent. They were picking him one at a time. And then when you're Dead Fox, you're the last guy in that situation, you're like, come on, guys, why are you doing this to me? Huge play by him.
Well, as the smoke clears and the debris is washed aside, Penta now within 1 round. And Hellraisers have the money to buy up to a degree. It's going to be the M4 and a AWP though, and Bonnick now senses a little bit of action. His spidey senses perhaps be tingling or maybe something else, but regardless, he knows. Sticker over the top as well. Deagle, not working out for him as it did for Tarsin, but Bonnick's going to get up close and personal here. No holds bar, but only gets himself the 1 kill now. Penta weathering the storm reasonably well. With 4 players, the man advantage, and now with the bomb down, Hellraisers must respond.
It's hard for them to retake this. I just hold on to that AWP from Dead Fox, try and save them, you know, keep Angel there shooting a few bullets, think you're coming for it, and back out last minute. You don't want to lose what you have. You might want to even take a pause just to get over that 1v5 situation. That's a tilt. That's another tilt.
Couple moments to discuss, perhaps.
Yeah, they lost an eco in the first half, I believe.
Yep.
And then they lost that one, and you probably just need to calm down from that, because losing one of those rounds, that could have pushed them, you know, what would they have been at least 11?
Well, Penta wouldn't have had the economy.
Exactly.
They would have built it up quite a lot more. Wouldn't be in this position anyway. So, there it is. Bomb goes up. Penta win the round, and Zero and Dead Fox and Angel all having to hold on to their weapons as long as they possibly can. Now, not much money to supplement that with at all, but they essentially come back into this round with the same buy as they did last. Now, maybe Bondic can afford to go for some utility here. Buys instead the P250. And that's really it here. So very, very limited utility here for the CT side, Chad.
The thing is, they may even have to double eco if they can't hold on to these weapons.
It's nasty.
Yeah, Zero and Dead Fox could drop into next round if they survive this round, but you're definitely on the chase if you're Penta. You're not letting them hold on to anything.
Counter boost in towards mid. Angel will be looking for Mike or someone similar. He sees 2 Molotovs go over. It could be his time. Now when he catches one out, he gets on towards Lol. Nice way to throw a spanner in the works here, but there's going to be a little bit more work to be done on the back of that one. Thinks about challenging Stefan here, Angel is, at least as he saw the shots coming past, the traces that cut down 2 of his teammates, and that timing is just so damn good. Stefan still just loosing the Molotov. It is traded back. And those important guns are still in the hands of Hellraisers. They still have the 2 they saved from the prior round. and they can do something with this. But they've got to split over the map.
Yeah, it's scary now for Penta because they don't know where those rifles were. A lot of action went on in the middle of the map. They traded out. You know, they're still in the favor right now, but they have no idea where Zero or Dead Fox are. They haven't seen them at all. If they just group up in a 3-man pack and they can potentially trade out proficiently, that's their best play. If they start spreading out, probing around, they're going to get caught out. But the gamble stack by Hellraisers, which is a great call because you want your players together in this situation. If they go the other side, you can save and they're going to walk right into this trap.
Well, Penta have a little bit. They've got some flashes in the smoke to get them through, but Crystal gets cut out, just peeks around the corner. Now the alarm bell should be klaxoning for Penta. We're losing one player now. I'll have to go over towards that A side. And Dead Fox keeps in step with them all the way. He's going to be a truck ready to receive this one. And Penta still have some utility to work with. They possibly should consider using some instead of peeking clean into this site.
They're going to smoke him off here, and that's good. They're at least going to get the site, unless Dead Fox does this. A ballsy player is going to push in and try and deny this plan.
Oh, Chad, it was looking so good. It really was there for Hellraisers, but Dead Fox took a gamble. Doesn't pay off, and now Zero forced to come in and try and clean up the rest here. In a 1v2, Smoke will be obscuring Mike S from view for the moment, and Tarsic just steps to his right. Gets out of the shot of Zero, back behind Quad, and now, it's choose the door. None of them really got ideal circumstances for Zero. No Porsche behind any of these ones, just maybe a grisly end if he's not careful. Has himself a kit. But again, we talked about the economic situation of Hellraisers at the start of this round. They have stuff all to work with. And Zero might fancy just holding on to this weapon and try and squeeze the very last bit of value out of it that he can.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to save. They're going to get out as well, the Penta guys. They won't be dying here. Just to kind of, people are like, why did Dead Fox push in on his own? His teammate was so far away. His mentality may potentially have been, I don't know, I'll give you my best reasoning, was that if he pushed in, considering there's only 10 seconds left on the clock, if he was able to stop that plant, he would have won the round for his team. Now, high risk, didn't pan out, but I can see what he was thinking. They are going to buy into this Hellraisers, which we're going to see them on lower utility, but they've still got enough nades to make this work. This is where maybe try something aggressive, you know, do a bit of a gambit play, push in with the AWP, flash him in, have a few more members behind him ready to trade out.
Marcus wants to face mid, but the smoke's going to prevent him from doing so here. We saw Hellraisers do plenty with a very small amount of utility in the last round, so that shouldn't be a death knell for them if you're sort of looking at that as an indicator of their success coming into this one. Crystal peeked through the smoke in towards that B main there and just backed out very, very quickly there. So the salvos of bullets coming towards him must have been enough to dissuade him from any further attempts. Penta sit back now. What utility can they draw out of Hellraisers at this stage? They're asking that question. Crystal as well, just in case there's going to be a late bit of aggression here towards B main, he will be able to catch it off. And if worse comes to worse, you can always work a crossfire with LOL here.
So you have Dead Fox aggressive there, who's just on your screen with the AWP. Him being able to AWP the whole way down B main means they don't have to use too much utility. He is going to smoke it off now, just like I'm saying, and the mid control will come out. The reason for that is he could die from checkers, so he's going to play it safe. They're going to rotate the players around, and Mike is going to find Angel. Where was that?
It was a passive pick. He was actually peeking A main. Angel was going for a bit of aggressive. Are you surprised?
Jeez. Yeah, that's Angel in a nutshell, right? But it's a 4v5 now, and Penta just have to decide on a site and trade out. It should be nice and easy for them here.
Dead Fox misses that first shot, though. Vent's now broken in, and now they're pushing through. Dead Fox gets himself one with Zero. Falls, he gets a second. Looking for some more. Bit of Guardian action here, but no, just the two. That's going to have to do for now. Sticko and Bonnet quickly trying to make the way over towards this site. Sticko slowly, ponderously even making his way up this ramp as Tarsin sets the bomb.
I think Hellraisers have to go for this one. You know, they have flashes on Bondic. They can make something work. I don't know about another save here.
Their economy is so weak at this stage. They can't afford to give too many rounds away. Now Penta are getting close to the threshold of the point of no return, but that's the same for Sticko. He ain't going anywhere except into the ground. And now Bondic has to back away. 21 points of health, and he maybe decides that it's time to cut his losses and back away here. I mean, yes, the save is far from an ideal situation here for Hellraisers, but this is such a difficult, oppressive situation for Bondic to play into.
It's a consolation.
At the very least, something they can hold on to into the next round. I hope it keeps them warm as Penta start to, well, turn up the heat themselves. Bondic in towards mid, probably wasn't spotted by Stefan, or was he? He's going to pick that one in pop flash. He was spotted. Just a pixel was enough. And the gun's lost, Chad, and so is the economy of Hellraisers. Not a lot to work with. Dead Fox with some money, but they're going to have to spread that one thin. It's going to be lean times for them.
Did he want to hold on to the gun, or did he could have just dropped it and said, here, guys, I'll keep my life? Do you not
go there if you're him? Do you just
run away to
the
the A site? He could have hidden in Squeaky. You could do that little thing where you constantly close the Squeaky door, hidden in the A side, do the JDM trick where you open the Squeaky door and then hide a quad, gone into CT spawn, which is hard to root a player out of. anywhere would have been better than where the enemy was coming for their exit.
Pop flash, easy kill for Penta now. Starting to stretch their legs a lot more. Tarson really looking good in this last half. He's now 21 and 15 in kills, so it's been good for him. And Hellraisers talking about the buy here. They've got 3 Deagles to come in with and only armor for Angel here. We're not what the 5-7 can do. It's going to have to take a lot here.
These teams are allowing each other to plant quite a lot. In both halves, we saw the bomb go down a huge amount and lots of retake attempts come in. And it's going to be pestering Squeaky right now, and Tarson will clean up Bondic nice and easily. Won't take too much damage.
90-49 there as well. Not really enough to make Tarson think twice about any extra pushes. There's a player in towards sandbags here. My guess must have some tip-off that Zero's going to be there, but I don't think he wants to test at this stage. Whether that was an intentional fallback, I think it was because he wanted the smoke. And okay, they're going to give up mid. Penta, that is. While Hellraisers are pushed very deep. Angel's actually in the counter boost spot, but no one to jump on his shoulders. Marquez, you know, he's still thinking about it. He knows what Hellraisers have done in the past. They'd like to go for that one. Shot in from Sticko. Actually catches, I think that's on towards Crystal there. Takes him low. Tarson also took a hit there in the process. But quickly, Stefan's going to step in and stop the nonsense.
Yeah, nice and easy. Smoke off the highway area and make their way onto the side as a team. Perfect. You know, they're also worried about the flank, which is great. On ecos, people get nice and sneaky, get in the backs, and they can really cause a problem as well. That's his 2nd kill for the half. He got 17 last half. He's only now got
quiet.
2. So he's pretty quiet. I think Crystal's also pretty quiet this half.
But Tarson, no, we saw a little bit of him.
Yeah, if you want to get a 1v5 with a Deagle, why not? It's pretty helpful to your team.
Wins you the round at the end of the day. Zero going to find Stefan there as well. Angel and Zero both watching that one, so he could give the information away. Zero was the one to capitalise here. The Deagle, the one-shot potential was there, and Angel going to find himself one as well. Penta getting picked apart of the seams a little bit here, and they're not quite sure where their assailants are coming from. It's a Batman moment for Angel. Gets on to Lowell as well, and that is a bit of consolation, Chad, while we're on the topic.
Oh, he didn't get one of the guns. He was trying to pick up in the last second one of those 2 rifles that he took out of their hands. When I hear a Deagle 1B, it makes me happy. You know, it's one of those satisfying kills. It's so rewarding. I'm like, yeah, you got it. It was worth it.
Well, no guns though. I mean, we talked about consolation, not quite exactly what Hellraisers would have wanted. I don't think Zero had the angle, if he was even still alive there, to pick a gun up. They would have had to peek straight towards the back of A main. So no dice there, but Hellraiser's going to buy back up anyway. They got the money to work with here.
Do or die for them right now.
A flimsy economy, hanging on a knife edge. They need to make some bank, and this would be the round to do it. Bomb being left back. Penta again want to play it through fairly slowly. Now, Dead Fox peeking in towards A-Man with that AWP, so he's got quite advanced positioning on this one. Even if he misses that shot, which he probably won't, get a good amount of information going through.
No real risks being taken here by either team. Once again, pretty default setups across the board. The only thing that I think is a little bit risky is Zero is literally playing so far in the bomb site that if he was executed on right now, it would be round over. The other 4 players may as well save. They're lucky it looks like they're heading towards A.
Dead Fox's position, though, gets completely nullified when there's 2 Penta players, 3 even going towards Squeaky. So Dead Fox won't see anything right now. Tarson takes down Bondic. He's got to about face very, very quickly. Quick 180, gets him a kill, and then Angel chimes in. And then back towards A main. The tag comes in, but he receives one in response. Going to try for another shot. He gets my guess through the wall. That's got to hurt. Sting even on that insult to injury. Now Crystal has to salvage here. The bomb's out in the open on A, but Crystal doing work. Finds Sticko there. His 2nd of the round. And then looking for more. He knows there's going to be a player inside that A-main. He knows that Dead Fox has to have gone somewhere. Molotov and towards mid. Nice shot towards Pete. Sticko now. We have the 1v2. It was Zero that went down. I misspoke, but now Crystal backing away. Molotov that he threw going to prevent him from getting towards truck as quickly as he would have liked, but there is time for him to dash over to B and plant the bomb.
What a guy. That's a big play by him. Dead Fox did great to stay alive there. He was the guy closest to A-main. 3 people came out Squeaky, and he still managed to survive and get, was it 2 kills? And now we have a one-on-one situation. The guy, once again...
That peak highway, ugh.
He has full utility again. I don't think Dead Fox throws a bloody grenade.
Well, I mean, he's going to have to use it here, if ever. Crystal, a well-timed peek here could get him the kill. He knows now. Dead Fox is up there. Dead Fox smokes B main. He thinks Crystal's sort of backed out of the site completely, or at least he's considering the possibility.
To be in this kind of situation...
Get wrecked.
Crystal just, you said it. As soon as you throw a nade like that, you telegraph your position. So he automatically knew, yeah, you're not coming vents anymore. You have to come from the CT side of the map. It narrows down, you know, his thought process. Like, I can play around that. And when he jumped off on that box, heaven's clear, had the perfect line, and he was a Dead Fox.
I tell you what, brilliant. We are being treated, though, to some pretty interesting CS here, Chad. I mean, It's not that sort of one-sided stomping that we see from a top team. This is some very well thought out plays from both sides. And individually, Crystal and Tarson, often the players to highlight things alongside LoL for Penta, have been delivering in a big way. Now we see some CT aggression. This is towards A main and towards Squeaky. Tarson smokes up, shots through the wall here.
They should fall straight back now. They've been isolated. This is where Penta can just react. It looks like Penta are just going to play it slow, though. So if you fall back now from Squeaky Door and then you use your aggression somewhere else, it's highly likely you'll find a player on his own because they have to worry about Squeaky.
Oh my god, Zero gets flashed in towards the entirety of the Penta side. Again, that aggression from Hellraisers not really paying off the way they'd probably like it to. It's trades, but they're not efficient. Hellraisers losing out on numbers, and of course the T side with 4 players are happy with the way the ledger has fallen thus far in this round. Sticko's on a wide flank, and Bondic and Deadfox need to wait for this utility to dissipate before making their picks.
They're locked out here, and they have to go for this unless they want to play for overtime. There's not a lot they can do. Penta are playing these after-plan situations very proficiently as Crystal's going to take down Soko through the wall. It's now a 2-on-4. There's no way in here. This is such a hard site to retake, so many angles, and they will hold on to those guns, or at least try to.
Well, Famous at long range, tapping away. Bondic gets one, but Deadfox fell behind, and Bondic might be in trouble there. He gets peeked into. That's a devastating result for the Hellraisers. They were struggling economically speaking. Look at that money. On match point, they don't even have the 2 guns to save in. They took a very wide or long route to try and escape, and they are in trouble.
They're in the bin.
They're up the creek, mate.
When you're in this situation, you're the bin juice. There's nothing worse than being the bin juice.
In the big Aussie green wheelie bins we use as wickets, mate.
Oh boy, they're in struggle street.
Up the creek without a paddle. Yeah, there's a place in SA called Stinky Creek, actually.
If Penta do something really fast and explosive here, it's great because you know that the other team has no money and they have to try something again. The B push is coming in as Bondic is the only player towards the A site. He's about to get overwhelmed any second now.
CT aggression this time pays off. Crystal falls down, and a little bit of information going towards Penta. They've lost a lot of map control now, so they do need to act pretty soon. Bondic, hello. Oh, he gets the 180. Headshot towards Marquez to pick him up. Now a grenade to follow it up, just in case anyone's planning on creeping on his position. He's got a great spot here now, and Penta are in disarray. They're headless chooks. They've got to make the move on towards the site. Stefan will plant from the safety of default, and Bondic, well, he's smoked out.
Some people would say that in that situation, when you have match point and so much money up your sleeve, that you should do something really fast and catch the other team off guard. Stefan, nice shot there over the box. Tarson's in a perfect position to stop this retake as Deadfox is going to run in. He's going to have to check all these angles. Find one.
Oh, nice combination.
Goes down, and they know where Tarson is now. That nade.
Oh, gets him. I thought it was a little bit too far, but that's big. Deadfox now, well, he could have gone back and picked up the kit and tried again, but no, he chooses the challenge and he gets on towards Tarson. It's a lifeline for Hellraisers. I don't know if it's phone a friend or 50-50, but regardless, they get their 11th here. But still, Penta looking in a strong position, and they've got a lot of money to buy back in, the Germans.
Eddie would be proud.
Oh, we love a bit of Eddie.
Yeah, Mr. Eddie Maguire. All these Australian references that nobody else will get. Everyone else at home is asleep right now.
Getting perplexed and frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't know who's sleepy on this game, though. I mean, you can mute us and still see some good CS. It's been very impressive. Deadfox.
Don't mute us.
Oh, well, I mean,
we have soothing tones.
Dulcet tones.
Yeah, this is another tough situation for Hellraisers. I can't speak very well. I shouldn't be doing this job.
Sound like you're from New South Wales.
Bloody oath. But they do have an AWP, and they are able to use the B aggression. Mike with an AWP as well. Okay, so we got Mike in A main. They're doing the default once again. Mix it up, you know, Penta. Do something a little bit different. You got rounds to work with, boys.
It's been interesting to see them put those 2 players towards Squeaky because we've seen the positioning of Deadfox quite close,
sneaky.
But Cannabist?
Yeah, he's going to catch somebody off guard there.
It's a great spot to pick because everyone who shows is quite often got an aid in their hands and setting up towards mid.
Never ready for it.
Nicely done. Tarson, though, gets 1 kill over towards A. That's going to lock it down and allow Penta to take. So Hellraisers have to play a sensible retake. Lol has walked past Sticko in mid through the smoke here. So he gets up on towards Angel. Perfect stuff, and Sticko still can't see him. Now gets to respond. It's a trade, but it's not one the Hellraisers can really afford to make, if I'm honest. The site's now been overrun by Penta. A couple smokes banged in front. Tarson will be stuck here inside default. It was a grenade thrown in his direction. A little bit of damage done. But only Deadfox has a kit.
Yep. They need to get stuck in here now. They need to use this Molotov from Deadfox and force their way on the side. As it comes in, a flashbang will go out. Stefan will get 1.
Could be Sticko again. Could be him here to salvage the situation. I think someone's coming in over the top. Tarson has to challenge now, but he was a bit too slow. Stefan's there, though, and Penta take it away. They get control of that A site nice and early on. And with 3 players, the Hellraisers were not able to reassert themselves, despite a very interesting little pantomime that occurred in towards mid. it only resulted in a trade. And PENTA Sports doing pretty well now, picking up some of those wins. We talked about them up against Hellraisers, Flipside, Chad, where it's like, yeah, these guys are sort of both the bunnies. They need to get themselves some wins to get off the bottom. But we're now starting to see PENTA find some consistency here outside of just close results against the top teams.
Tarson won them that game. That 1v5 with the Deagle was the turning point of that match. From there, Hellraisers tilted off the face of the planet, couldn't get back in it, tried aggression, tried being passive, tried to retake, had no answers.
Yeah, incredible stuff there as well. So PENTA take away the first map, but still one more to come. In the interim, however, we're going to pass over to our desk to break it down.
Thanks very much, you two Aussies. It was great to hear those stories. Yeah, come back to us.
I will.
The Denim crew returns between Hellraisers and PENTA. Just map one of the two. We've got another one to look forward to. But PENTA managing to close that out was probably a relief to everyone. When you saw that 15 or 14 creep on their scoreboard, I couldn't help but worry just a little bit. But Hellraisers unable to close things out. What was your primary observation there? Because you were shaking your head and face palming at various intervals there, Yanko. What was it that was kind of grinding your gears?
Don't be a hero. That should be like...
Don't be a hero.
It's not I need a hero, it's don't be a hero.
Like tattooed on their eyelids.
Tattooed like everywhere, across their screens pretty much, because, yeah, great round by Tassin, obviously hit some really cool shots, but it should have never gotten to that point. It was just Hellraisers deciding that, oh, let's challenge. Oh, I'm going to jump through the vents. Oh, I'm going to push from behind because maybe I'm going to kill him in the back. And just so many mistakes that they gave him a chance and then he took it. But there's so many players still hunting for those kills when there's nothing to gain and everything to lose pretty much. Just play it safe until he commits and until you're sure that if you die, then there's someone getting the trade 100%. And that's going to be the best way, the best chance for you to win the round.
I mean, it was an impossible scenario. Did you catch it as well, Matt? Did you see it?
I did. What do you think? I don't do my job?
No, I mean, you could have been, you know, having a wee.
No, I wasn't. I went to the bathroom before the segment this time. I was smart.
But I mean, like literally, what? Kevlar and a Deagle, 1v5.
It's. I mean, the thing is, it's kind of like Sponge alluded to right before. It tilts them off the face of the earth because anytime that anyone wins a 1v5, forget what weaponry or whatever he has, mistakes were made. Like, to allow that to happen. We know firsthand, I think. Well, have we been 1v5'd yet? We might have been 1v4'd, but I don't think 1v5'd.
It was obscene either way. Another observation, can't help but me, Mr. Deadfox from Hellraisers is definitely pulling his weight. I mean, this is the second kind of showing we've had on the desk.
I was a bit critical in the first half because when they were on the T side, they were trying to take a lot of mid-control. The problem was, I can't remember what round it was, like 6 or 7. He missed 2 shots from Highway, and one of them was the player at Quad, which meant he just didn't have to repeak. They had the information that Highway was there. The rotation could go to Z, and then he could focus back on A main, and it slowed down their entire execution. And that was when Hellraisers actually started to get back into it a little bit, is when they started to negate that mid presence. But obviously the round toward the end, when he stays in the corner, they come out squeaky. He gets 2 kills and stays alive. Sponge alluded to that as well. Super good utility, and then unfortunately lost the 1v1 when it went back over to the B site, but he did everything he could to get them into the round.
I'm really glad Hellraisers lost this game. I would be tilted if they won, because they lost a 4v1 after that as well against Crystal. That's the round where Deadfox was close to main and got kills and managed to stay alive even. But then his team again just decides to hold the aggressive angles, aggressive peaks against Crystal, and again Crystal did hit some good shots, especially on Zero in that when he was 1v2 towards the end. But why? Why do you give him the chance to hit a good shot? Why not just peek, jiggle peek for info, or wait for him to plant the bomb, and then you know for sure where he is, and group up together so he gets 1, maybe 2 kills, but not more than that. The thing is, with those rounds, there's a way to play out the round that there's 0% chance of you losing it. 0% chance of losing that round.
Tell me. I mean, just hold the angles.
In that sense, don't challenge.
No risk.
Don't challenge him. Like, you have your guy hiding in A main, and everyone else is trying to be a hero. Exactly, you know. And they get punished as that as well. And you lose 2 rounds like that, you're not gonna win the game. Like,
yeah, you're going to be a grumpy goat. Now, after the break, we're going to be talking a little bit about whether or not this has anything to do with the absence of the coach, of course, losing LMBT. Maybe they lost some of their restraint. We'll be answering that question after our break. But something you can check out while we do disappear is an application. You've heard it all before, but it's called the Score Esports application. Of course, you can check it out to keep track of exactly who is the top performer and who will be. You can get previews as well as the articles that can keep you in the loop of your favorite esports titles. You go grab that, and when we do return, we'll be looking at our final map. It'll be Cobblestone between Hellraisers and PENTA, and we'll see if Hellraisers can bounce back to split the series.